The house on Blackwood Lane didn't look evil, it looked exhausted. Its grey shingles peeled like sunburned skin, and the porch sagged as if tired of holding up the weight of the silence inside. Elias had bought it for a song. A fixer-upper, the realtor had said, eyes darting toward the street. Just needs some fresh air. But the air inside was heavy. It tasted of copper and old dust. The first night, Elias woke at 3:14 a.m. The silence was so absolute it felt like a physical pressure against his eardrums. Then, he heard it, the scratching. It wasn't behind the walls or under the floorboards. It was coming from the inside of his closet door. Slow, rhythmic, and deliberate, the sound of a single fingernail dragging across wood. He sat up, heart hammering. "Hello?" The scratching stopped. From behind the door, a voice, thin and wet, like someone speaking through a mouthful of water, whispered, "It's too tight in here, Elias. May I come out?" Elias didn't move. He didn't breathe. He slept with the lights on until the sun bled through the blinds. The mirror. The next day, Elias decided to stay busy. He went to the bathroom to shave, but when he splashed water on his face and looked up, he froze. The steam on the mirror had been wiped away by a small, hand-shaped smudge. In the reflection, his closet door, visible through the open bathroom door, was ajar. Just an inch. A sliver of pure, oily darkness peeked through. He turned around. The door was shut. When he looked back at the mirror, he saw himself. But his reflection wasn't holding a razor. His reflection was holding its throat, eyes wide and bloodshot, its mouth opening to scream a sound Elias couldn't hear. The basement. By the third night, the house felt smaller. The hallways seemed longer, the ceilings lower. Elias decided he was leaving. He grabbed his keys, but as he reached for the front door, he heard a heavy thud from the basement. It sounded like a body hitting the floor. Against every instinct, he walked to the basement door. He didn't open it. He just listened. Thump! Scrape! Thump! Something was dragging itself up the stairs. One step at a time. It sounded heavy, wet, and exhausted. Step. 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 It stopped right on the other side of the wood. Elias could hear it breathing, a ragged, whistling sound. "Who are you?" Elias choked out. The voice from the closet returned, but this time it was right at his feet, coming from under the basement door. "I'm the part of you that didn't leave the first time." The realization. Elias bolted for the front door and threw it open. He ran into the yard, gasping for air, and looked back at the house. Every window was filled. Not with ghosts, but with himself. Dozens of Elias stood at the glass. Some were screaming, some were scratching at the panes, and one, the one in the attic, was simply waving goodbye with a pale, trembling hand. He looked down at his own hands. They were turning grey. His skin began to peel like the shingles on the house. He didn't run. He couldn't. The house wasn't haunted by the dead, it was a trap for the living, a place that grew by folding people into its walls, one fixer-upper at a time. As the front door slowly creaked open, Elias felt a cold, invisible hand pull at his collar. "Welcome home," the house whispered. "Would you like me to write a sequel to this story, or perhaps try a different subgenre of horror, like a psychological thriller or a creature feature?"